Yeah, this is a boxing game, but it's a boxing game by Natsume, so at least there will be some technical skill behind it. And there is some of that on display here, but I found World Boxing to be a frustrating game to play. This is the second and final game by TSS, who brought us Super Rugby before. When you start up a game of World Boxing, you're given your choice of 3 characters. They're each the 3rd-ranked boxer in their association. You've got the American, the Japanese, and I'm guessing Canadian? It's the CBA regardless. These also function as difficulty levels. The American boxer is the strongest, the Japanese boxer is the weakest. Your goal in the game is to become the number 1 ranked boxer in all 3 associations, and then you take on the world champ. The control scheme here is a bit confusing. If you don't hold down any buttons and press in a direction, you'll throw a punch. Left and right are hooks, down is a straight punch, and up is an uppercut. Holding down the B button and pressing in a direction does a body blow. And the A button is used for your defense. Up and down block those portions of your body, while left and right dodge side to side. You have a health bar that's displayed in the middle between both boxers, and to the right of that is a power meter. That increases when you're not doing anything, and it indicates how strong your punch will be if it lands. When you're blocking or dodging, it doesn't increase, and if you take a solid blow, then it gets reset to 0. You get knocked down when you lose all of your life bar, and you have to mash A to stand up. There's a recovery bar in the middle that'll show you how well you're doing, and I couldn't even get a blip to show up there when I was manually mashing. I had to plug an auto-fire controller into the expansion port, and then hold down A on it when I got knocked down. The AI here is brutal. It tends to operate in 2 modes. All punching all the time, and perfect defense. There's also a stand around and don't do anything mode, but it seems like only the weakest of opponents fall into that. World Boxing is a very difficult game, and I think most of its difficulty comes down to one thing. It is nearly impossible to put up an effective defense. If you compare this to the definitive 8-bit boxing game Punch-Out, the boxers in World Boxing give you about as much time to react to their wind-ups as Mike Tyson does. And even if you do start a defense in that moment that you have, there's a delay in blocking and dodging. You have to be just about perfect to avoid a punch. Or just wildly lucky. Yeah, you can avoid getting hit, but you're going to get hit a lot. Perhaps the most annoying thing in the game is that if you manage to beat all 8 opponents in the regular circuits and then go take on the champion of the world, you have 1 shot at it. Lose and it's game over. So keep your passwords. They appear at the bottom of the screen after every fight. At least when you lose a match against one of the regular opponents, you can keep trying. I get the impression here that the single-player game isn't really the point of this one. You're supposed to be playing it against your friends, one of you looking at the top half of the screen and the other looking at the bottom. And that kind of split-screen boxing is a bit impressive on the Famicom. That said, I found this one just about impossible to play. The only boxer that I could reasonably beat was the lowest-tiered Japanese fighter. Everyone else just obliterated me. I did manage to knock down a few of the others after about 45 minutes of play. You have to really be willing to master World Boxing if you want to make any progress here, and it just wasn't rewarding enough for me to pursue it.